Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. I got a little bit of a head start on dinner because some things you don't need to watch me do it. But I'm going to get this put together and then we'll just go visit a little bit while it's in the oven. I've got a pound of ground beef browned. And to that, once the meat was browned, I added about a half of a large yellow onion just to help soften it up a little bit. That way it doesn't have to bake as long. And I'm going to let you watch me season it and hope that you can hear me. I watched last week's Cook and Chat back and you couldn't even hear anything I was saying. So let's see if we can do a better job this week. Trying to get this where it might not be so far from me. Okay. There really should be somebody looking on another computer to make sure it's working. All right, so before I get my spices added to the meat, I thought I would show you that one of the parts of this tortilla casserole is to mix a can of Rotel diced tomatoes and green chilies. You can use a generic store brand if you'd like, and a can of cream of chicken soup. Probably sounds kind of weird, but it comes out great when you mix it all together. So now let's get our meat and onions seasoned. All right, standard stuff to start with. I'm going to add some salt. Some pepper. Some garlic powder. No, you have to log in like with a different account and watch like you were somebody watching. And some ground comino. So this is like my taco meat. I make my own taco meat. I don't buy a packaged seasoning. And how much you use will depend on A, your own taste preferences, and B, how big a batch you're making. So that's why so many of my recipes are just watch and learn. We're going to get those seasonings mixed around in the meat. And then I'm going to add a little bit of tomato sauce. I don't need this whole can. That was probably good right there. That was probably about 2/3 of that can. All right, we'll do the taste test. Yeah, that's good. That is good stuff. Okay. So now I'm not gonna make as big a batch as I usually do. One of my New Year's resolutions was to learn how to modify recipes so that I'm not wasting so much food, because I throw out a lot of food. It's ridiculous how much food I throw out. So let me show you how the rest of this goes. I don't know if I'm in the frame or not. We are going to, I've already got some of my tortillas torn. So I've just quartered some corn tortillas. And this is how I quarter my corn tortillas. Fold it in half and then fold that in half. And I've got 4 quarters. So I'm gonna, oh, actually, I'm gonna put a little bit of this sauce, the soup and rotel, put a little bit in the bottom of the pan so that that bottom layer of tortillas has something to soak up, and that keeps it from sticking. When I make a big batch of that, it takes more of the rotel and soup. But I think this will be good for a smaller batch. And then we're going to make a layer, put a layer of corn tortillas in the bottom of this baking dish. Notice I'm doing the stream a little bit differently. I have not even logged in on the computer yet, so that I don't have that problem with the echo that I had last week. I haven't done enough streams where, you know, I'm in like 2 locations, tuned in from 2 locations. So I don't quite know how to manage the feedback that you get when you got multiple like microphone sources. All right, so there's my layer of corn tortillas in the bottom. I'm going to put the layer of meat on top of that. This will obviously have a lot of meat in it because this is the same amount of meat and onion that I use when I do a bigger batch, like in a 9x13 pan. Why did you turn the oven off? I asked you why you turned the oven off. Oh my goodness gracious, y'all. It's been one of those days. Oh, but this isn't going to be too much. That's good. That's going to be nice. Now, as an option, you can add a can of ranch style beans or a layer of pinto beans, some kind of beans to this. I love it with the ranch style beans, but Richard won't eat it if I make it with ranch style beans. So we're skipping the ranch style beans, even though he chose to eat something else for dinner already. Now we're going to put some grated cheese over this. This is super simple, y'all. I mean, I need a whole lot more cheese. So this is really going to take about an 8-ounce block of cheese that was supposed to already be grated. So the sound you hear in the background is me quickly grating the cheese that I need. I think some people call this dish or something similar taco casserole, and you can see why. It's got the tortillas and the taco meat. All right, I need to grate that last little chunk of the cheese. I only have this much left, but I'm going to use it all. All right, nice and cheesy. And then over that, we do another layer. I think that's enough cheese. I'm going to put a little more cheese. I have a little tiny bit of grated cheese left in a bag of grated cheese. Not much at all. I don't know if you can see. Not much at all. So we're just going to put all that in there. Just kind of a dump and go meal. All right, so over that, now we're going to put another layer of the tortillas. I would have put the beans on it. If I was going to make it with the beans, I would have put that right on top of the meat, and then I would have put the cheese on top of the beans. I like to not have any gaps. The number of tortillas you use will be determined by what size dish you're using. Again, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan for that first layer, and then all the ingredients for this top layer. All right, that's good. Now, super simple, we're going to pour the rest of this rotel and cream of chicken soup on top. And spread it over these tortillas so they don't get dried out in the oven. My once upon a time mother-in-law, Joanne, is who taught me how to make this. It's great with a salad. Or again, if you don't put the ranch style beans in it, you could have it with some beans. Believe it or not, I'm going to sprinkle a little cheese on top. Can't have too much cheese, can you? Oops. That wasn't supposed to happen. I think, are you guys still there? Are you still with me, guys? Oh, I can take a second to say hello to the people in the chat. If I can get rid of that thing on my screen. Okay. Okay, what's going on here? Let me turn it this way for a second to try and get rid of this thing. We've had a minor technical difficulty. And now I can't get. All right, I'm just going to have to go with this and hope that you guys can see it and hear it. I thought I had somebody that was monitoring things for me, but is it working? What? I just don't hear myself talking through your phone anymore. I'm not sure how you know if it's working then. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's been one of those days. Just a little bit of cheese on the top. I think I like the cheese on top more for looks. Get some foil over this. You want to seal in the moisture so the tortillas can cook. And it's going into a preheated 375-degree oven. And now you put my stuff up, and then I'm going to go log on the computer and log off with this phone. And we'll let Richard come in here and clean things up. Okay, here I am. So I gotta go. No, I guess it's fine now. If that other camera, I don't hear an echo. Okay.
here I am. So maybe we're good. So let's see who we have here. No, I guess it's fine now. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Ritz. Hello, Connie. Thank you guys for being here today. Oh, just realized I don't have my microphone here, so I hope you could hear me there. And I got to set the timer on that right quick. Hang on. All right. Am I hearing feedback? What is happening here? So I can't hear myself. Can you guys hear me? I hear feedback coming through Richard's phone. So what are you guys hearing? I tried to back out. Yeah, I don't know where that feedback is coming from. I tried to back out of the view from the kitchen, from the phone where I had you guys watching, but that phone fell into the dish, you know? Come get my phone in a minute and clean it. Okay, this looks like... Okay, no, it looks like I'm out of the studio now on the phone. So are you still hearing any kind of feedback or echoes or... And I didn't set the timer. So I'm going to set a timer on my phone so I can stop having to get up and leave you guys. Of all nights, man, people want to call and text me so much more when I'm doing live streams. Oh, and here's little Keela. So Keela went to the adoption event today. It was the regular monthly Good Shepherd Rescue adoption event. And there was a family that was very, very interested in her. And I had her all dressed up in her little red and black sweater. And she had a red harness on and a red leash. She just looked super cute. I thought maybe if I up the cute factor, more people will be interested. I will say, okay, so first of all, I had someone else take her to the event for me. Part of what we're really trying to do to help her get more socialized with humans is allow other people to take her places. So last month for the adoption event, someone came to pick her up and took her. I felt so bad for her. She was terrified. She was beside herself with terror to be going away with another person. It was really sad. Of course, again, we don't know what her story is beyond that she was running the streets of Richardson, Texas, like in and out of traffic even. And it had to have been a hard life for her because she was just a little baby. But so the last event, I felt so bad. I felt guilty all day because she just was terrified. But I knew that, and still know that part of what will need to happen for her is that she just needs to have enough experiences where she spends time around other people so that she can understand that not everybody is dangerous or mean or shady. So she got to the event last time and she did okay, but she was still very nervous being around anybody. And no one really showed any interest in her. And I'm sure that's part of why, because, you know, most puppies, I think we talked about this last time, or I've talked about it at some point with you guys. Most puppies, right? The world is their playground and they love everyone. And as long as you pay attention to them and love on them, they don't care who you are. They don't care. They don't even think about whether or not you're dangerous or, you know, there could be any kind of harm come to them because of you. But that's not her story. And unfortunately, that's true for a lot of the dogs that come into Good Shepherd, because a lot of them have just really had hard lives or just were not socialized, dogs that they lived in the backyard on a chain until they got rescued. You want to come up and say hi? Come here. Yeah. Tell everybody how it went at your event today. Tell everybody how it went. Oh, what a good girl. Okay, hop down now. Show me Saddle. Show me Saddle. No, you guys, show me Saddle. Go tell Daddy if you need to go to the potty. So a friend came to get her. Different person came to get her this time. First time she'd ever met her. And I was really encouraged. I took Keela outside. And at first, she kind of backed up a little bit when she realized that she didn't know that person. But I don't think she barked. If she barked, it was just a little bark, and it was just one time. And then my friend Dana came over, and she let her pet her. We gave Dana some treats to give her. So I don't know if she took any treats. She didn't take any treats while I was watching because she was a little too nervous. But Dana opened her car door and I walked around with her and she jumped right up in the car, which she didn't do that last time. So I feel like we're making some headway with her and she's, getting older enough. She's about almost 9 months old now. And today went a whole lot better than the last event went. So I've taken her to 2 adoption events. Or I've been with her at 2 adoption events. And again, she just is terrified of people. And that doesn't market her. It's not good for marketing, right? So again, I put her little sweater on her today and I thought, okay, so she'll look super cute and people are going to want to come over and look at her just because she looks so darling. Anyway, so she did fine. Dana sent me a text on the way to the event. She said she's doing great. She's just hanging out, laying down on the seat. And she does well in the car. But she didn't do great in the car. Again, last time it was just so traumatic for everyone. And then there was a family there that was very interested in her and they spent a long time with her, but they brought their male dog. They have an adult male shepherd. They lost their older female shepherd back in October and are just now thinking about adding another dog to the pack, but their dog wasn't interested. I'm not sure what to do with the information I got today because Dana said what the people said was they don't even look interested in each other, meaning the dogs. Now, Keela, when we have dogs come to visit, all the boarders that come to visit and, obviously our family dogs, you may have seen some videos where I have to like remind her not to overwhelm the new dogs because she wants to run right up and start playing and sniffing and being in their face. And so Dana and I are kind of wondering, is he still maybe putting off a vibe that he's sad? He doesn't want to interact or socialize with other dogs right now because he may still be grieving the loss of his pack mate. And Dana said they met a couple of other dogs during the event today. And it was the same way with all of them. That was their human critique with every dog they met was that they just didn't seem to be interested in each other. Like they were making it equally, each dog responsible for initiating interactions and stuff. So I'm thinking that just seems kind of odd because I know what she's like around other dogs here. And at the events when she's gone and she's terrified of people, she's still not so uncomfortable meeting other dogs. So
you set time?
No, I'll just watch the clock. So I think it may have had more to do with that family or that dog, and they just may not be in the right place where, his body language or pheromones or whatever dogs can pick up on that we can't pick up on, where they're ready to add her. But I was just so encouraged at the report I got from Dana at how well she did. And just that she would even have gone with that other family, and not been freaked out. Dana didn't see anything that made her look like she was freaked out about being around other people. Now, last time when she came back from the event, and I was real curious to see how it was going to go this time. Last time when she came back from the event, it's like she didn't even remember me. So she'd only been gone like 3.5, not quite 4 hours, because the event last time, it's about a 45-50 minute drive up to where the event was before. And so I'm, expecting, the expectation is she's going to get back home after the event if she didn't get adopted, which I didn't think she would. And then she'd just be so excited to see me that she would just be desperate to get out of the car, the person's car that she rode with. But I opened the door to get her out of the car, and she was terrified. Suddenly she was terrified again. So whatever's happened to her, it's just really made her uncomfortable with changes in environment and the people that are around her, at least as of the last time, the event for December. So it's definitely a step in the right direction that she did well at the event today, that she went with Dana and jumped right up in her car, and that she did okay with this little family. Dana says she did great with the little family, but she didn't even sniff that boy. Which, so what does that mean? Again, because here, I'm not kidding, she goes all out. A dog she hasn't met, she has got to explore and, sniff every part of their body. And I really have to caution her every time that she needs to be careful so she won't overwhelm them, because I wouldn't want another dog to come in and get annoyed or, so far all the dogs that have been here, well, we did have the 2 new boarders for the first time, but we'd met them and I didn't have a reason to worry that they would have a problem with her. And I think, yeah, they met her the day they came for their meet and greet. So we knew it would be okay, but you never know. Dogs can be cranky, and she can be really overwhelming sometimes. High energy, very playful puppy, everything else normal about her as far as being a puppy. Hello, Bud Files. How are you? Thanks for being here today. So I open the door, and I'm prepared for her to do what she did last time and be terrified to see me after she just saw those other people. And for a second, her eyes got kind of big and she backed up a little bit, and then she leaned forward and I was talking to her and she realized who I was, and then she was all excited about seeing me. So that was good. It was good, but it starts getting you start getting into some weird territory when you have a foster for a long time. So we've had her since the 11th of November. And that's a long time. When we used to foster full time, back when we first moved here to RichKat Ranch, typically we would only have a foster for like 3 or 4 days max. There were a good number of fosters that we had them for a day and they spent the night and then they got adopted the next day. And the organization does a great job of, highlighting the dogs and sharing information about them. And so there are some challenges with her because she's got this issue with just being uncertain and uncomfortable with new people. So that's not working in her favor. It hasn't been working in her favor. But for us, it gets hard when we have them here for more than a week because, every day they're here, they're more and more a part of the family. And she's very bonded to our pack here. And she loves the cats. She adores the cats and gets along beautifully with them. Hello, Erica Olson. How are you? Thanks for being here today. So that gets hard because people have always asked us, oh, how can you let them go? How can you take care of and love them while they're with you and then let them go? And the answer to that always was because, the purpose of their time with us is not to become part of our family. It's to teach them how to be part of a family. And when we know we've done our job and they find another home, then we're able to open another spot for a new dog that needs that same thing. We have had a handful of fosters over the years that we had for, again, longer than 3 or 4 days, longer than a week. The first one, she had a really severe case of mange that needed to be treated. It wasn't the contagious kind of mange, but she looked terrible. And it got a little harder to market them when they look that bad. Their skin and their coat is so impacted by mange. And so we were treating her for mange. And I think she was with us about 6 weeks, maybe even 7 weeks. And before she actually left our home, another family had already decided they wanted her. We just wanted her course of treatment for the mange to be completed, which just meant I had to put ivermectin in her food. I had a little syringe, and I would put a little bit of ivermectin in her food, all of her meals. But it took that long. It took like 6 or 7 weeks for that mange to finally clear up enough that she was clear of it. But another family had already, fallen in love with her. So we knew, even though she was here a little longer, that she wasn't going to be ours. We had already foster failed with Bandit. Right around the same time we got her, because we got him just before Thanksgiving, like 3 or 4 days before Thanksgiving. And then I think she came to us like the Friday after Thanksgiving, or that Thanksgiving week. And then we had a set of, they were about 6 weeks old, 2 6-week-old puppies, 2 girls, the Maddies. That was hard to not fall in love with those little girls. So that was a lot of work too. And I was working full time outside the house, but they were just beyond precious. And they were just little bitty when we got them. And our dogs adored them. And of course the cats got along with them because they were just little tiny babies. But the reason we had them so long is because they were too little even to be spayed. And one of the benefits of getting a dog through a rescue is that generally all of their vetting is done before you can adopt them. So they've had all their shots, they've been microchipped, they've been spayed. If they have any kind of a health condition or need any sort of medical treatment, that's all done before you take them home. And that's all paid for by the rescue. For those who may wonder sometimes why it costs so much more to adopt a dog from a rescue than it does from some of the shelters, that's why, because the money that we make by charging a higher adoption fee is why we have funds on hand sometimes when we get a dog in that's a medical case. We've had dogs come in, with shattered back ends from being hit by a car, or they've been shot, like bullet wounds, or head trauma, stuff like that. And we get them, or parvo. Oh gosh, y'all, there sure have been plenty of litters of puppies that have come into rescue that they had parvo. If you don't know about parvo, that's just a horrible, horrible thing. And not all the puppies have made it over the years. Now, we've never had one come to us that had parvo or that got parvo. But it costs money to treat them, to get them well. There's not just a home fix you can do like you can maybe for some other things that happen with your dogs. But if you've ever wondered why it costs so much more, because I do hear people ask that sometimes, it's just because as a nonprofit, we don't have any other way. We don't like sell stuff, or and we've got to be able to cover expenses. So Good Shepherd Rescue, it's all volunteer. There are no paid employees. Our leadership is it's all volunteer. This is the 25th year that Good Shepherd Rescue has been around. So lots and lots of happy tales, lots and lots of rescues, and 180-degree turnarounds for dogs that had health issues or behavior problems or both. And but back to the thing about having them longer. So when we had the babies, we had them, I think we almost had them 8 weeks again, because they were too small to be spayed. And we had to wait until they were big enough, old enough and big enough, weight wise to tolerate the anesthesia that was required for the spaying. But then they both got adopted right away. And before it was even time for them to be spayed, there were already families that had paid for them. They knew they were just waiting for us to get them in for their spay appointments. So that was sweet. And so neither of the times that we've had them very long did it make it harder to let them go, because the reason we had them a long time was, it wasn't like it is with Keela, where, I've gone through little times where I've thought, is she ever going to be adoptable? Is she ever going to get to a point where she could go to another family? And I know she could. It would just take a patient family that understands that there's some unknowns in her past that just make her really unsure about new people and new situations. Because when she came to us, even at first, when I first met her, And I knew that she was the foster that I was going to be bringing home. And I said, I don't know if this is going to work, because she was so terrified of me. I couldn't touch her. If I talked to her, even, you could just see that she was just terrified. But I thought, you know what? I'll just take her home. I'll let her do her own thing as long as she needs to do her own thing. And it didn't take her more than 3 or 4 days, I don't think, to realize, oh, wow, this is a fun place. These are nice people. Now, a big part of that, I have to credit the dogs here, because they are an integral part of the whole concept of fostering. Because the dogs that come in, when we've had other dogs come in that either have a behavior issue or they're part of they've come from a cruelty situation. Oh, and I'm telling you, we've had some horrific stories with some of the fosters, even that have come into our home. And I don't push, if they want to just stay in a corner someplace away from everybody for the first couple of days, that's what we let them do. But always what happens is they watch our pack, right? So they see our dogs interacting with each other, interacting with us. They see how they behave in the house. Obviously, we have this wonderful property where there's lots of room to run and explore and sniff, and they watch all that. And it doesn't take more than, a couple of days for them to think, I kind of want to check that out. This looks like these guys are having fun. It looks like they like those people, and those people are being nice to them. And so it's always very gratifying, that first day that the dog that's been just hanging out over in the corner, not wanting to interact, walks over to be petted. They want you to pet them. That feels really good. Or the ones that come in, and even if, they kind of follow along with the dogs and stuff, they don't play. It's like they don't remember how to be dogs, because they were never allowed to be dogs. Some of them they've lived in cages their whole life, or again, tied up in the backyard all day long, 24/7, with nobody to play with them. No one even talks to them. They just get their food and water put out there every day, and then they're just on their own. And so it's always really fun too to see that light bulb that goes off when they realize, oh, that's a toy. That's a toy. I can squeak that toy. Or when she throws that ball or that Frisbee, I can go chase after it too, like the other dogs. So there's my plug for fostering, if you've never considered fostering a dog. And let me get to the comments here. Okay. Yeah, Ritz, I think when we were talking about puppies, how, most puppies, right, they just love company. They want to be around other living things. And let's see, what else did I see? So I think Erica. Yeah, okay. So first Erica had said she hates Parvo and Corona. Parvo, y'all, it's just horrible. It's horrible. And the ones we've lost to Parvo, it's a horrible way to go. There's no silver lining in that at all. But we do have litters that have come in where, even though some of the puppies didn't make it, the ones that made it, then it's such an inspirational story over the years to remember how sick they were, and that then they became regular, normal, healthy family dogs. All right. So Erica says, I pulled some through, but it's horrible. I had a jackass come look at a litter of lab puppies, and they casually mentioned looking at a sick litter in Phoenix just before coming to my place. What's really frustrating for those of us in rescue is, thank you, Ritz, or maybe you were talking to Erica. Thank you. Both of you. Thank you. What's really frustrating for those of us that come into rescue is that apparently a lot of people have dogs that shouldn't have them. They just shouldn't have them, because a lot of the animals that have come into Good Shepherd Rescue that have become sick, even with Parvo, they're not brand new puppies. They're puppies that should have already had all of their puppy shots. They're old enough that it's not a matter of them not being protected because of not getting their shots. These are people that, backyard breeders, people that they don't take care of them. They don't get them their puppy shots. And then they contract whatever awful diseases that could have been prevented with a vaccination. And I know it can get expensive. Let me tell you, to 3 German Shepherd dogs, y'all, there's nothing cheap about that. People so often think that we make a lot of money because we have horses. And it does take a lot of money to take care of horses. Those are not inexpensive vet visits. Those are not inexpensive feed bills. I think I shared with you guys earlier this week, hay is at an all-time high price right now. So it's not cheap to have it. I think it's like anything else, you just have to prioritize. And there are some things that we don't do because our hearts are elsewhere. But German Shepherd dogs, I mean, they're big dogs. So a lot of things in the veterinary world, the cost is often based on the size of the dog. So it takes more anesthesia, to do a spay surgery on a big dog, and longer or whatever. So now we're fortunate because all of our dogs are rescue dogs. These are all dogs that came to us through Good Shepherd Rescue. So we haven't had to pay for their spay surgeries and neuter surgeries, and they came to us vaccinated. But I know it can be super expensive to go to the vet. So last vet visit for all 3 dogs to get all their vaccinations and everything, I want to say was like $600 or $700. So that was their exams and their vaccines and their heartworm tests, and then the medicines, the flea and tick prevention and the heartworm medicine. That's a lot of money for us. That's a lot of money for us. But there are options for that. If you don't know, so if you have pets, at least I know where we live, the Humane Society here works with clinics and the spay and neuter network here through the Texas Coalition for Animal Protection has clinics in the area where you can get discounted services. So typically we take the dogs, we'll go whatever morning the closest clinic is going to have a vaccination session. And for, like $80 a dog, they can go get all that same stuff. So I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people that have dogs, they just shouldn't have them. They shouldn't have them. And again, that Pet Vet Corner that I look at on Facebook, that veterinary group that you can go in if you've got a concern or, you think your dog is sick or something's wrong, and you can go in and provide them with some information or pictures or both and ask. And a lot of times the vets just have to tell people, you need to take them to the vet. We can't tell you what's going on looking at a picture. We can't even tell you what's going on just by your list of symptoms. It could be a number of things. And I'm discouraged at how often people will say, I can't afford to take her to the vet or him to the vet. And I know things come up. We've been there. I know things can come up, but it's so common that I just wonder, where is the education part falling through, that people don't understand that when they adopt a dog or cat, or they buy a dog from a breeder, because some of these people, these are dogs that they've bought from a breeder. Okay. I see that so often. So they've paid mega bucks to get this designer dog from a breeder. And then the dog is 6 months old or whatever. And they're on this website, this Facebook page saying, this has started happening and she's doing this. And, the vets will, one of the questions they ask is, what's in your contract from your breeder? This is something that if you're a reputable breeder, the genetic issues and hereditary things shouldn't be coming up, because to be a reputable breeder, you will have done whatever testing you need to do to be sure that the parents of the puppies you're going to sell don't have whatever stuff in their genetic makeup that's going to cause these serious health problems or early deaths down the road. But a lot of the people will even say, oh no, my breeder just says it's normal, and I don't think there is a contract. I think it's a backyard breeder. Somebody wanted this little, again, designer mixed dog, and they go to Craigslist or whatever and see somebody that's selling. Can you still sell dogs on Craigslist? Oh, what did I do here? I hit a button. Why is that doing that? Oh my goodness, why is that doing that? Let's see if we can make something else show. Why is that happening? What did I hit? Okay. I don't know. There, I was talking the other day about, I'm not a computer whiz, but sometimes I just hit the buttons and something good happens. I just knew my finger touched a button kind of in that area just now where I just hit a button again. Let me get back to chat because I can't, let's see. Connie says, I knew how our rescue Sadie was, took time and Annie's help. Both girls was okay. Right. So you got to be prepared. You got to know, and you have to be patient and dedicated to help them integrate and overcome whatever obstacles they might have to overcome because of their histories. And then from Ritz, I agree, Kat. I cannot see stuff about any type of animal cruelty. I get upset and angry. Yeah. Yeah. For those who don't know, so our girl Delilah, our mule Delilah, she's the most wonderful animal. She's great for Cabo too, because she does not put up with his shenanigans. He's still quite spirited, which is a nice way to say bratty, because he's a thoroughbred gelding. And part of that is bred into them so that they have the personality and they have what it takes to excel in the racing world. And so it can be challenging at times to just turn him into a regular old pasture horse. So she's good for him with that. But that's how she came into rescue. Part of a cruelty case, confiscated from a hoarding situation where none of the animals, there were like dozens of animals. So it was her and some other equines and dogs and cats and, rabbits and all kinds of stuff that were all in terrible shape. She was in terrible shape when she came into rescue. But she got over that. And then, obviously I think by coming into a family with Cabo, who had at that point learned that this is the place to be if you want to be spoiled rotten as somebody's pet. She's in today's short, by the way. If you guys did not catch today's short, it's doing really well. So maybe she needs to be in more shorts. Anyway, so back to the chat. I was just thinking of that because of what you said, Ritz. And then Connie said Sadie was 15 months old when parents and got her. My family had a beautiful German Shepherd for 14 years. Losing her hurt. She was my mother's baby, and that's a long time for a German Shepherd. So that's kind of special to me that they would have had one that lived that long. Our boy Cooper was 13 when he crossed over. Then Erica said, funny thing was that the sick litter was from a registered kennel and supposed show breeder. I was a backyard breeder. I only had a few and didn't breed often, but I was very picky. Well, again, if you just kind of pay attention, one of the things that the vets will say on this Facebook page often, when whatever the issue is not like a life-threatening thing, but it's a defect or a deformity or, and they'll tell the people that are asking, what do I do? What does it mean? They'll tell them right away, this puppy cannot be bred. Do not breed this puppy. And I don't think enough people think like that. I don't think enough people look at the dog and think, okay, well, this dog's got this deformity, or this dog has this heart problem, or whatever they have. And not everybody thinks like that. Not everybody is conscientious enough to realize that, yeah, they got to be picky because the puppies are going to suffer. And then the people that love the puppies, the people that fall in love with the dogs, they all suffer. So I'm not, for the most part, I just don't support backyard breeding. That comes from my experience now working with German Shepherd Rescue, where there are lots of purebred, super healthy, beautiful, friendly, well socialized, everything perfect about the dog that comes into rescue. Sometimes through no fault of their families, things happen, and I think it's more loving to surrender the dog to a rescue than to allow it to get to the point that some of the other dogs that come into rescue get to, because they're left uncared for and untended to and, tied up in the backyard or left when people leave their home. That's how Boone came to us. His family just moved away from their house and just left him in a crate in the backyard. And I don't say that, I don't mean to be judgmental. I don't mean to judge people for that. Again, I know things happen, but there are options, and just being involved in rescue just makes me appreciate good animal parents that much more. And it also, gives me that little bit more determination to help the challenging dogs. I'm not going to call Keela really a challenging dog. I know there are challenges for her just because, whatever it was that happened to her that landed her on the streets and now has her so terrified of new things and new people. Obviously, that's a challenge for her. But we see her now. I mean, now she's like part of the family and she's got a wonderful personality. She's so loving and so friendly and a healthy, normal girl. So we just got to figure out how to bridge the gap so that she can be a healthy, normal girl with a forever family sometime. All right, making sure I'm not missing any comments. I'll let you guys know. I haven't made the thumbnail yet. Tuesday's roundup. So Tuesday evening will be the next roundup episode. And one of the things we're going to look at is like award-winning optical illusions. And I didn't know they're like competitions. So every year there's like the best optical illusion of the year. So there's competitions that happen for optical illusions. And some of what I'll share with you, I know you've seen before because, when I saw it, I know, oh yeah, I've seen that one before, but I'll still share it with you because every now and then somebody sees something that it's new to them. But I'm already finding lots that are brand new to me. I hope they'll translate. Obviously, when I've seen them, it's been on the computer. So I think it should work for you guys to see it on the screen. But we'll look at that and I'll probably do another. I like to do 2 different things. Just, I don't know why. But I don't know what the other thing is going to be yet. I'll pick something else from off of my list. I mean, there are tactile illusions also, but I don't know how I would share that with y'all. I don't know how fun that would be for you to watch me experiencing a tactical illusion. I don't know. Maybe it would be. We'll see if I can find some that look like they might be fun. Maybe we'll try that as well. But looks like I've got about 4 minutes before I need to go check that casserole in the oven. And then I'll do a taste test so y'all can see if it turned out the way I thought it was going to turn out. It does make me a little nervous sometimes when I'm not making the size, the batch size that I usually do. I don't know why. I mean, it's all the same ingredients. And I don't cook with recipes, so it shouldn't be a big deal to me. I know what goes in it. I can adjust it, based on, again, how much I want to make or how spicy I want it. All right, here's Erica again. I had mine OFA and PRA certified. So did my friend who had 2 Dobies. We bred for breed standards, temperament, disposition, and ability, retrieving in my case. But see, you know what, Erica? There are people that are backyard breeding. They don't even know what any of that is. They don't even know what any of that is. They just have a male dog and a female dog, and neither of them have been altered. So they're getting puppies, and then they're just selling puppies. And then they realize, oh, there's a way to make some money. We'll just sell some puppies. Again, I don't want to judge, but when you can find quality, healthy, beautiful animals at a shelter or through a rescue, I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb and say something here. So I just watched, I think it was a reel on Facebook or a story on Facebook. And apparently Paris Hilton has another new baby. And I don't know what her story is. Again, so I don't want to sound judgmental, but maybe I'm feeling kind of judgmental. So this is her second baby through a surrogate. And I don't know. A part of me really struggles with knowing that there are so many kids waiting to be adopted, so many kids in foster care, so many kids in orphanages, and I don't know. I mean, I was blessed. I never had problems conceiving, and all my pregnancies were super easy, and all the kids are ridiculously healthy. And so I never had to consider that. I never had to wrestle with the idea of wanting a child and maybe wanting it to biologically be my child. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even address the issue because I can't speak to that. I don't know where that comes from, but I know it's super expensive to adopt. I don't think that's right. I think that's part of the problem. But these mega rich people that can just, again, pay someone to have a baby for them, or I don't know. I don't know. And again, maybe if I knew why she didn't have her own kids, because I'm not going to, fault them for having a baby in another way besides like creating a baby inside of her. But I don't know. For whatever reason, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I just can't help but think of all the kids that would love to be adopted, that would love to have some parents. Let's see. Erica also says, I've been a dump cook most of my life. Oh, there's the timer going off. It says, I know they're money grubbers. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's part of what gives me the bad attitude about backyard breeders, because I just feel like they're only doing it for the money. They're not, I don't know. I keep saying I hate to sound judgmental, and I know I sound judgmental. All right, I'm going to go check my thing. So I'm going to log in now with the phone, which means I'm going to log off with this one, because that just seems to be the only way to prevent that echo that you guys hear. So I'm going to turn off this microphone. Okay. And now oops, do I need to go this way? Which way is the microphone here? Right there? Right there. So can y'all hear me now? So now I'm going back to the kitchen to get the casserole out of the oven. I'm going to put this back in its little holder. Okay, I'm checking in again to see if you guys can hear me. Get this set up right. Let's see. There are pros and cons to all. I offered to have a baby for my sister after her second surgery failed. I never needed to because her third surgery worked. And there was a time in my life where I thought, because again, I loved being pregnant. It was so easy for me. It was so easy for me. I know that's not true for everybody. And I thought, I wonder if that's something I could do for somebody. But I just didn't know if I could give up a baby. I didn't know if I could grow a baby and then let it go. Maybe I could, now that I've figured out I can do this with these wonderful dogs that come to us. Okay, so let's get this out of the oven. And see if it's ready. That was about 40 minutes that was in the oven. And the meat's already cooked. The onions were pretty much already cooked. So it's really just a matter of letting those tortillas soak up the sauce mix. All right, I'm going to serve a little on a plate for myself. Well, leave the oven on in case it needs to go back in. Okay, the tortillas are nice and soft. Get out of here without making a mess. Can y'all see that? Ooh, that's hot. That's for sure. I didn't even think to buy salad stuff to go with it. But I like this with a salad.
All right, we're going to go back to the computer now. I'm going to turn off the oven. I bet the fire has gone out in my fireplace now. Oh no, Richard's over there tending to it. All right, and now back and forth. I'm going to go back to the computer and log in there. What I can't see is here. On my phone, y'all, I can't see where there's a button to leave the studio. So I'm just going to back out of here. Oh, let me get in here first. I don't want y'all to have no one there. Look how pretty that is. Okay. 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 I think that worked.
No, off.
Logged off with the phone. I might not have even had to go in there with the phone with y'all, but we're going to take a bite of this. It's really hot, though. I need to let it cool. I'll talk a little while it's cooling. So we are still having to drip the faucets overnight. And last night, the app on my phone, in fact, let's look and see what the temperature is right now. Last night, the app on my phone said it was going to get down to 21 degrees, but it was 19 degrees when I woke up this morning. And that seems to be pretty typical. So right now it is 30 degrees. Tomorrow's high is only expected to be 34 degrees, and there's a chance of rain. So starting tomorrow through, all of next week, every day next week, there's a chance of rain. Now, tomorrow is the only day right now that the forecast is calling for temperatures to be cold still. Well, it depends on what you call cold. Monday, this app is showing that Monday's high is expected to be 43 degrees. But then we move into the, high 50s and low 60s for the rest of the week. But with rain. No, Keela, go see Pappy. Go see Pappy. Go see Pappy. She might need to go out and use the bathroom. I think she's been asking to go out and use the bathroom for a while now. So, I guess 6 of one, half dozen of another. Oh, here's some more from Erica. For my sister, I could have. It would have been in vitro with her and her husband. I would have just been the incubator, but a stranger. Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of like a stranger. I don't think the Paris Hilton surrogate is somebody in the family. So I'd love to think that I could do that. I know I've heard stories. It seems really neat, but it's so not common that I just don't know how to process it. I've even read stories where like a mother carried the baby for the adult daughter. Something happened with the adult daughter. She couldn't have children. And so the mother, they do in vitro, which I just think, oh my gosh, what an amazing thing. So the concept itself, it's not like I have a problem with that. And obviously there would be situations where I don't think it would even be an issue whether or not you were going to keep the baby. But for a stranger, I think that's where the hurdle comes in. Hello, Kevin at Tuber Chat. How are you? Thanks for being here. I hope you are happy and well and warm. Thank you for the share. All right, 25 there now, 9 degrees this morning. Are you getting any precipitation, Erica? Because now, we're finally dry from all the rain we had last week. There are still a couple of muddy spots. And today, everything finally got a chance. Well, not everything. There was still ice in a couple of the duck and goose water containers out in the duck yard. But their little pond in their yard had thawed enough that they were able to swim around in that. And then Richard insulated a big it's like a muck bucket, but we use it for water for Cabo and Delilah when we move them to the backyard during a sniff spot. And it did not freeze overnight. So he got that nicely insulated and covered. And I went out there this morning and that was not frozen. So, I mean, I know we could put a heater in the duck pond, but we need to change that water out anyway. Yes, Connie, look at that. Connie's been a member of the channel for 12 months. Thank you, Connie. I love you, honey. I love you. I love you for loving me. Thank you for loving and supporting the channel. If you guys are interested in channel memberships, they start at 99 cents a month. A whole lot less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Sometimes I will hear, somebody that's selling something or is offering a subscription, and they'll say, for just the cost of a cup of coffee every day, a cup of coffee every day. Have you ever bought a cup of coffee out someplace, like not making your own coffee? Hey, Pete, how are you? Thanks for being here. Let's see. No precipitation right now. A few days ago, it made the road slicker than a greased pig. Yeah, when we had that little bit of snow last weekend, then it froze, and it was kind of slippery in a couple of spots. Maybe more so because it was such a light layer. I almost feel like that was more dangerous than if we'd had a nice thick layer of something. All right, I'm going to take my first bite of this casserole. Oh my gosh. I haven't made this in a while, and I forgot how good it is. Oh my goodness, that is so good. So again, you can put the Rotel beans in it if you want. I wish it did have it in there. You can use really any kind of cheese you like. I like sharp cheddar. That's what went into this one. And then for the seasonings, I just always recommend that you do your little taste test to get that Mexican flavor for taco meat or this casserole. It's that combination of salt, pepper, garlic, and ground comino that makes the Mexican-y kind of flavor. But I'm sure you could season this different ways. And then the tortillas, as long as they have enough liquid, enough of the sauce to soak up so that they can get soft, it's super simple. This really is kind of the dump and go concept here. All right, I think I said hi, Pete. Hi, Pete. Thank you for being here. Yep, I love you, Connie. And Kevin is saying hellos to people in the chat. So again, not a whole lot else going on for the Saturday cooking chats. I really just want to walk you guys through a dish that maybe you will be motivated to try to make at home. If you ever see me cook something and you need me to answer a question or help you with something, leave a comment and I can certainly give you more information that you might have seen here. And I'm still working on streamlining the process. Again, obviously you guys did not need to watch me cutting onions. You did not need to watch the ground beef browning, but I wanted to show you the seasoning, how to season it, what's in it, and then how to do the layers. That's pretty much, I think, all you would need as far as a watch and learn. And I am very visually oriented, so it's helpful for me if I can see something happening as opposed to just reading it. Maybe that's why I don't cook with recipes. Once upon a time, I used to sew a lot. Like I sewed the kids' Easter outfits every year, and I didn't use patterns. I literally would lay the kids on the ground. I'd have my fabric on the ground, lay the kids down to figure out, the sizes of stuff I needed, and then sew some things. John Garner, look at that. Thanks for being here. And I just want to say again, so Erica and John, I know both of them from Peter Trago's family. Ritz, Peter Trago's channel. Ritz, I know Ritz from Peter Trago's channel. You guys go visit Peter Trago's because you will make some great friends. Peter's a great friend. And I think I probably speak for all of us to say that it's so easy to feel like you know him through his videos, and it's easy to feel like he's your friend. And if I haven't reminded you guys in a while, he often will remind people that if you have a legal question, if you're dealing with something, you can call that his firm for free. And they'll tell you if it's something they can handle. They'll tell you if they need to refer you someplace else. They'll tell you. And I just think that's amazing because it would not be expected. Obviously, I would not expect anyone to do that, especially not someone, with a a well-known reputable firm like that, they have earned the right to charge for services. But that's just how they do things, and that's how Peter does things, and that's why he's growing like he's growing. That and the fact that the man is like the Energizer Bunny. There are days when I'll see he'll put out, 3 or 4 videos in one day, and 2 or 3 of those are live streams. So I'm not even at that point, and I don't have a full-time job outside my home. He's a full-time attorney, and he still does that for us. So anyway, all of that just to say that's how I know John Garner and Erica Olson and Ritz that are in the chat tonight. So there's been so many blessings come out of the fact that I don't know if you guys found Peter at the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. That's how I found Peter, and that's how I met all of you guys. So what a wonderful serendipitous story to share. Hello, Mark at Corner Clubhouse Cobalt. How are you? Thank you for being here tonight. I hope it's warm where you are. Yeah, lots of love for Peter and the Tragos team. I'm toying around with some. Here's what I'd like to do. Once upon a time, my Friday streams, there was always an interview. I would interview another content creator. And then over time, like last summer, I did my Invisible Illness series. If you haven't checked that out, we talked about some interesting and maybe not so common illnesses that you can learn a lot about. And I went to the source, so to speak, by having people who have been diagnosed with those illnesses and have to deal with those illnesses to come on and tell us, what is it really like? What does it mean? How does it impact your life? And how, what's the treatment like? And the shows were very well received. It's still a standing offer. If you are a content creator and you would like to be interviewed on a show, I would like to still do that on Fridays. I would like to still have that. So I've got a couple of content creators that are, it's pending. We just have to set a date. They've got to have a little free time. One of the channels, they're all college kids, and so they've got to get back into the swing of college. I think I'll reach out and see what their spring break plans are. Maybe that would be a good opportunity to get them on. And then a friend of mine, I think he just finished a show circuit. And I just need to touch base with him again and get him back on. My friend Kevin, who, Kevin Weiner. So guys, y'all, the All Bugs Go to Kevin guy, I know he would come back in a heartbeat, and I would be all over that because I know he has even more critters that he can share with us. And I just love him. He's just an all-around good guy. Again, check out his Facebook page. He does have a YouTube channel, All Bugs Go to Kevin, but he also has a Facebook page, All Bugs Go to Kevin. And it's such a wonderful way to at least get closer to overcoming any hangups or heebie-jeebies you might have about bugs, particularly spiders, because I know that's a very common thing that people are uncomfortable with, is even seeing spiders. If you've been at my channel at all, I cannot pass up the opportunity to handle a spider. So if I encounter a spider, I want to pick it up. I want to get close. I want to see its eyes. I want to figure out if it's a male or a female. And I know I've had people tell me before that by seeing me interact with spiders that way, they're kind of getting over their fear of spiders. I haven't died from a spider bite. I don't think I've ever been bitten by a spider. And snakes, I love snakes. And so I try to handle them. I enjoy those encounters. And so that's what Kevin's page is for bugs in general. And I've seen bugs. It's safe to say that at least a couple of times a week, I see a bug on his Facebook page that I've never even heard of before, because there's people all over the world. So there's some bugs that don't even live here where I am. Hello, Jerry at Butler Family Farm. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, let me go back. I have some good Peter comments, I think. Okay. Erica, I didn't have a high opinion of most lawyers before listening to Peter on another channel, Profiling Evil or Duty Ron. So those are a couple of YouTube channels, I think. I think it was around when they were still searching for Gabby Petito. Yeah, I will say, if I had to sum up Peter, for me, that's exactly what he's done for me, is he has overcome that stereotypical perception that and I'm sure a lot of people have or have had about attorneys, about lawyers. And there's still those kind of lawyers. There are still the kind of lawyers that the people that have a bad attitude, those lawyers are still out there. Peter's not one of them, and he has done amazing things for lawyers all around the world by being who he is and doing what he does, so that's exactly what happens. We can go on and see that what we perceive is not true of all of them. And y'all, he's just a good guy. I can't say enough good, and you'll learn a lot. I have learned more about the legal system and trial proceedings and, because of his channel than I ever even thought I wanted to know. And so when I watch other, cases or 48 Hours or some other crime show or crime channel on YouTube, I understand so much more now about the process. Honey girl, no, honey, you have to show me settle. Show me settle. Good settle. That's a good settle. That's a good settle. And it's more enjoyable for me because I understand more about, how it works. Okay, so Jerry out in the shop. Oh, no worries. This is the newest live, Jerry, as I'm doing these cooking chats where I show people how to make something. I'm gonna take another bite. If you missed it, it's my tortilla casserole. I call it tortilla casserole. I know people who make something similar and they call it taco casserole. Just because it's got the tortillas, the ground, like the taco meat. Baby girl. No, baby girl. Kibby's on the computer, baby. Go see Pappy. Will you call her? Will you
Come on.
go see Pappy? Go see Pappy. I guess she wants to be on the show. Or maybe she wants a bite. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing on Saturday nights now. And then the roundup for now is happening on Tuesday nights. Yeah. I had been seeing so much about that taking care of Maya thing on YouTube, and I just didn't take the opportunity to get into that case. That's mind-boggling. No worries, my life motto. We did a collab, new video up that Susan did for a tailgate. Okay, sweet. How cute she wants Mama to share Din Din. Oh yeah, they all. Look, y'all can't. Can you see him? Oh, we got to get some more light. No, baby. You're gonna exit me from the computer. We got to get some light here, and then y'all see. You're more right than you realize, Ritz. Oh, why can't I? I can't get enough. Uh-oh. I'm hitting a button somewhere. Boone is right here, waiting very patiently. Oh, no, I don't want to. Oh, okay. I hope I'm still here. Boone is right here, waiting very, very patiently, hoping either that I'll drop something or that I'll offer him a bite of something. All right, I got to get my light back where it was. Hey, Matt, Backlash Fisherman. Hey, how are you? Thank you for being here. I hope you guys are having good weather. I don't know what it's doing east of here, but good to see you. Oh, yeah, Papa Trago's there. So sometimes Peter and his dad will collaborate on a video. Girl, you have to stop. No. See the other dogs, how they know to just go lie down while I'm on the computer? You have to go lie down. Go see Pappy. Go help Pappy with the fire. Okay. Make sure I'm not. Hey, John Boone says hi. Hey, Boone, John says hi. John Boone says hi. Seeing some fun names in the channel here. Okay, it's 27 degrees where Matt is with a wind chill of 6 to 7 degrees. Yeah, it's warmer here right now than it's been in a while. I look for any excuse to have a fire in the fireplace. I'll just tell you that. But, oh, my gosh, we've gone through so much firewood. And I will have a video coming out. I thought I might do that today. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to put a video out today because I've got the live stream today. So I guess I'll put that video out last week. And part of what's going to be in the video is y'all are going to see me struggling with the the sledgehammer and that star tool that you split logs with, man, that is work. That is hard work. So let me, while I'm thinking about it, because I see that Nightbot just popped up to remind you guys to give the stream a like. But I want to take a second to thank those of you who are in the chat with me live today. It's so much more fun, right, to be here live. But I love you when you stop by and check the stream out after it ends and become a part of the rewatch crew. Still so grateful for all of you who are able to do that. Okay, I've got some new comments here. Yeah, y'all, Connie is a longtime channel member. Been a great supporter of the channel and just a great supporter of me. She's been a great friend to me beyond having a YouTube channel. If you love firewood, you guys are welcome to stop by and cut all the firewood you want from the 2 downed trees in the back pasture. But it is hard work, and it's not work that I do very often, so I pay the price for that a couple of days after I've done it. 20 degrees feels like 7. Yeah, you got to show Nightbot some love. No one ever says hi to Nightbot. Yeah, Connie's in Ohio. Oops. Matt's in North Carolina. All right. So I don't have much more for you. I hope to see you guys at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Again, part of what we'll share or what I'll share with you is some award-winning, mind-boggling optical illusions from around the world. And then I'll do something else. I'll mix something else in there. I just don't know what it's going to be yet. And next Saturday, I don't remember what I decided to make next Saturday. Maybe I'll read you guys a list and you can tell me what you'd like for me to make. So hang on. I have a list of stuff. I might do something with chicken since, what did I make last week? Oh, chicken. It was chicken fajitas last Saturday, but we can alternate and go back and forth. And so what are my options for chicken? I have chicken spaghetti. I have just chicken and noodles. I just call it chicken and noodles. My chicken enchilada casserole. I just made chicken and dumplings a week or so ago, but I could make chicken and dumplings. We just did the chicken fajitas, so I've got chicken quesadillas on my list, but chicken pot pie. So I might do something with chicken. So I'll put something in the community, on the community tab, to let you know what I'm going to make. Well, I mean, you'll see a thumbnail at some point, but maybe before I create the thumbnail, I'll let you guys know what I'm going to fix. Yeah, Erica's in Mississippi. Yeah, you guys hang out with Matt. Hang out with Matt and get some fishing done. End of February, you'll be in Kentucky. Yep, Ritz is in Chicago. Chicken and rice. I make a Mexican chicken and rice. Oh, we got deals going on in the chat. Yeah, this is the best part of YouTube. Is this the connections made? I've met people in other chats. Again, I know a wonderful group of people through Peter Tragos's channel. I'm into the eagle watching. I will share with you that some of the excitement that happened at the Florida nest before we go. The baby was being fed, and it looked like some people were suspicious that he had been fed something that still had a fish hook in it, like a piece of fish that had a fish hook in it. In some of the pictures, it's kind of hard to tell. Some people got some close-up screenshots, and it kind of looked like a fish hook, but it kind of didn't look like a fish hook. And when it's a fish hook, Fish and Wildlife, they can intervene. They can go up and get the baby out of the nest and take him to the wildlife clinic and do whatever needs to be done to make sure he's okay. but it kind of didn't look like a fish hook. It kind of just looked like some bones that were hanging off of a piece of something, but the piece of something was lodged in his throat. So it did start looking very uncertain for a while because it looked like he was having some trouble. And then, of course, you know, the internet just goes berserk. And people are, you know, terrified. The end is coming. The sky is falling. So the mom tried to get that piece of stuff out of his mouth. It's so amazing, y'all. Watching eagles is so amazing. So she was aware. She saw that there was something stuck in that baby's throat. And she's trying to pull that out, and she couldn't get it. The dad was away because he was hunting to bring in some more food. So after, you know, a while of mom trying and the baby fidgeting around, and he was shaking his head, trying to shake that out of his mouth. So dad comes back, and first he didn't notice. And then dad notices that the baby had something in his throat. Dad pulled that right out of his throat. M15 is the most amazing eagle on planet Earth. Just amazing. But I'll tell you what, he learned that from Harriet before she left, because she had to do that for him. She had to pull something out of his mouth. And I remember seeing a video right after I started watching that nest where her former mate had swallowed, you know, they swallow everything. They swallow the bones and the fur and the feet and everything. And then they kind of cough back up whatever they can't digest later. Well, her previous partner had swallowed like the pelt of a rabbit or something, and it got stuck in his throat. So the other adult, the father of the nest, and mom sees that he's got that there and he's struggling. She pulled that right out of his mouth. It gives me goosebumps to think about it. So you guys have got to start watching eagles with me. Then we'll have more to talk about together here in the chat. All right. So yeah, I haven't fished in a long time either. And I don't know why, because I love being outside. Okay. And I love fishing and I love to eat fish. I would have to get a refresher course from you, Matt, on just how to clean a fish and get it ready for eating. When we were little, my grandfather, on my mom's side, my grandfather on my mom's side, taught us to fish when we were, you know, old enough to hold a fishing pole. And the rule was we had to bait our own hooks, and then we had to clean our own fish. But again, it's been a long time since I've been 3 or 4 years old. But we did that for a long time before he passed away. And it used to be part of the fun. We would go out and, you know, get worms or catch grasshoppers or something that we could use for bait. So I'd like to spend some more time fishing. I might have to get some tutoring from you, Matt. All right. Bedtime in North Carolina. Yep. Later there than it is here. Be safe, be happy, be well, be blessed, everyone. I will turn you guys loose. I'll leave the chat open for a little while. Thank you for following along while I made my tortilla casserole tonight. It turned out awesome. And I didn't make as much as I usually do, so we'll be able to finish that off in a couple of days, and then I won't have to worry about throwing away something because we got tired of eating it after too long. I'll see you Tuesday night. I'll get that stream set up maybe before the end of the night tonight. Please go watch Delilah's short on my channel today and let me know what you think. It's just, there's so much I can, you know, film here. All these animals give me a lot of content to work with. I just don't always know how to turn it into something that the audience might like, but check out her short today and let me know what you think. And I think that's it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my evening, finishing my dinner, watching the fire. I've got old Perry Mason going on the TV right now. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Do stay warm, friends. Bye.